Hello everyone, this is Mazaluk, and welcome to the first battle of the 19th turn of the Promethean Directive, which is going to be quite the turn with close to 20 battles, at least more than 10. Today we have an attack force coming in from the Remnant Federation, and their allies, the Cavalry Empire, consisting of Valiant's First Assault Corps and Dove Horse, who are at the beginning stages of their move, passing by the Silver Zephyr Coalition city of Glacis, which was previously ravaged by a nuclear strike from the Light of the Sanctified. Included here on the Remnant side are two of these resurgences, veterans of many a war, whereas Dove Horse is just some heliocopters. On the opponent's side, we've got the same defenses provided by blueprints provided by Ninjin, less one bunker that was destroyed, as well as a similar air force to last time from Task Force 0, as well as Bomber Fleets 1 and 2, which were not included last turn. With all that said, I will unpause and let things get underway. This has a real chance to be the very first defeat of the Pact of Cavaltor, who have previously stomped several enemy nations. There was a fleet constructed by the Imperial Taiyo Navy, or the new Taiyo Shogunate is I think what they're now called, but it has not been included, as that will be finished at the end of the turn. Should the defenders win out, and we wait to do part 2 featuring the Triumvirate, then the new Taiyo Navy will be included in that continuation of the fight. And if the battle gets concluded here, like 1 month into the turn or whatever it is, then the Taiyo will be discounted the better part of their material investment. Quite a bit of EMP landing, although I'm sure that Remnant have not been so careless as to forget EMP proofing. But I suspect that having aircraft attacking from all sides like this will not do well for these front-siders. One of which may already be having attitude issues. It's hard to tell. Attitude meaning the combination of orientation and position, not like behavioral issues. I'm hoping that they haven't given their ships sentient AI cores capable of expressing negative emotions, although I would not put it past them necessarily. Already quite a few aircraft getting swatted down by the lasers. But there we go, yeah, one's AI dead. But so far, most are at least on decent health. The Remnant front-siders are fleeing the area of operations as it appears they've targeted onto one of the aircraft. And this is part of why I want to limit thrustercraft to no more than 80 meters a second, because they'll do silly shenanigans like this and flee the actual battle. But we'll see. It'll probably be good for them, as it will prevent the aircraft from getting too close, but it will also mean that they've left their allied helicopters in Dove Horse alone facing the swarm of city defenses and other aircraft. Giving it a health check, we've got 97 and 99 for the thrustercraft. Several aircraft shot down, I assume on both sides. But it really looks like the defenders' aircraft are not doing well. Yeah, a bunch of damaged long spurs. The Volcanos are the attacking aircraft of Dove Horse. Yeah, looks like the defenders have been very quickly decimated. Both those that are pursuing the thrustercraft and those that are staying to fight the enemy helos. Let's check out how the city is doing in the fight around here. The city, I assume, is at full health. I doubt anything here would have been destroyed. The aircraft seem mostly to be focused on each other. There's no way I get this thing and not a projectile. Ah, yes! I am so good at this game. Okay. I mean, yeah. Let's see. Resurgence and Revengeance are hightailing it for the edge of the map. Or the two Resurgences. With just 3 helicopters after them who stand no chance of being able to take these guys on. I mean, there's a tiny chance that these projectiles from the city defenses will do something, but at that range it's going to be real hard to hit. So unless those EMP missiles get lucky and, like, AI did something, there's probably not going to be much that happens in that battle. Here's one of the long spurs, I believe. Yeah. Trying to engage the helicopters, but I don't think their missiles are too accurate. I think these are meant to be bombers or ground attackers. I do really like the wing pylons that are designed to stay straight. Looks really nice when they move. For a second I thought that one of the resurgences vanished, but no, it's just in the fleet. Flying away. Let me warp on over here, see if anything fun's going down. Doesn't seem to be. This thing's lost at least one laser turret on the side. Part of another laser turret, looks like. But appears to be in high health as it ends another one of the attacking aircraft. I mean, this thing has pretty thin side armor from what I can recall. Well, not there, but in some places it certainly does. So there's a chance this thing just gets murked by 1 or 2 shells shot by the city. But it's... oh no, it's over 6 kilometers out. There's no way of that. Yeah, I do wish someone had done better target prio. Like, this is the smart move, for sure, to just isolate yourself and take care of the aircraft before they can surround you. But it's also very unfun, because it leaves us with 2 battles that are very hard to spectate. And that ultimately end up with a less interesting result than if everyone had stayed to brawl. Checking in here, we can see there's only 3 aircraft left. Up against 4 and 4 helicopters. So I think 1 or 2 volcanoes got shot down. But they are still doing very well. I think they're, whatever, okay. Their, what are they, ventral APS and a few missile pods are quite effective at taking down the enemy planes. That one worked, okay. Yeah, just single, I think HE, or frag EMP, something like that, missiles. And then that cannon on the inside. We'll see what these defenses can do. I suspect once the resurgences finally decide to rejoin the fight, they'll do pretty well. Because they are designed for city bombardment. And last I checked, this is a city in need of bombardment. But they are, let's see, 4.5 kilometers out and approaching. 4.5 and 7. The helicopters are probably more expensive than some of the other craft. Well, of course, POK shouldn't mind being split into two battles. That is the much better result for you. It's just less interesting. There is no practical amount of time that this battle can be stalled that will turn it into the next one without one side being defeated. Because the time scale between turns is months, and a months-long air battle would be quite impressive. I think the most expensive defenses are around 40 to 60,000, whereas some of the helicopters and planes are well over that. The long spur, yeah, is 56. Probably 60 if it's full health, maybe a little bit more even. That's what missiles will do to your budget. Yeah, we can see how these guys are definitely targeting that long spur, which will leave them vulnerable to the city's defenses. That was a pretty good incendiary missile right there. But I still doubt this thing will get too seriously damaged. We'll see. There was a narrow period of opportunity there for it to get taken out. But it looks like it's already settled on a city building, so back to front siding. During which time it's practically invulnerable. Yeah, these are Dingen's default defenses for those not willing to provide their own, or those who don't have them designed yet. I do believe that Silver Zephyr are cooking their own defenses right now, but those are both not ready yet, and this city will use the previously deployed defenses, because that's how they work. If you give a city defenses and those get used, then, unless you pay extra money to replace them, you'll end up using the same ones for the next battle if another one shows up. If you add costs, you can of course add new defenses, but in general, they should stay more or less the same between battles. And with the two war bunkers now gone, the small turrets will take the brunt of the fire and just slowly die. Because they really can't deal with two sieging thruster craft like that for very long. You may expect things to occur during battles due to the current extreme state of debt that the Silver Zephyr are in. But due to this city being composed of people who recently survived a nuking, they're not too likely to waver in their resolve and commitment towards the motherland, even if they are a little bit underpaid. Cities' cost may have gone up. I guess I didn't notice that when I checked on the map. But in that case as well, because that was an expansion done this turn, part of that will also probably be refunded, because it clearly couldn't be used yet. So yeah, since it's looking like the defenders will lose, the ITN fleet will be unmade, the bulk of its costs, about 80% returned, as well as probably about 80% of the city's upgrade costs. I arrived at 80% by determining that this battle happens about 10% into the turn, just based on how stuff's moving around the map. And they probably pre-stocked some materials. So you've got about 10% of the time being spent building, and then another 10% that was queued to be used the next month, but didn't get a chance to be used. I have tried to make ships more practical by adding stuff like the supply limits. And adding extra costs for stuff like thrustercraft. But if ships are unviable, that's kind of just because of how ships are. I mean, there's certainly more that I could do with rules, but without very, very seriously nerfing stuff like thrustercraft, which I may do. I may do, because this is also kind of uninteresting at times to just have two monolithic units standing at 3 kilometers away. 2 kilometers at least, thank you for that. And just being totally invulnerable to fire because they're designed with a bunch of armor at the front is just less interesting than it could be. And it's a clear preferred choice of strategy because it is so good. But there's only so much that I can try to limit the meta with rules, and ultimately you're just fighting against something that's built into the game. And I try to avoid fighting impossible battles when I can. Yeah, I could reduce upkeep for ships. That would probably be good. So max stores work in that that's the max your fleet can carry. So if you're a plane and you've got 15% max stores, then you can only put 15%, which if you get involved in combat one turn, and you move another turn, then you've already lost all 15, and you're down to 0. And at that point, your fleet will start taking damage. I need to enforce stuff like that a little bit better in future. Right now, the conditional formatting on the sheet's a little bit scuffed, so it's not fully followed. Okay. I'll see about adding increased upkeep for thrustercraft. Some healers did get shot down, I think 1 or 2. And to answer some of your complaints, Carsonized. Some of this is your own fault for trying to build ships in a war zone. The city was already attacked last turn, and you've got enemies within one big grid tile, like it was expected this to be attacked. So part of that is on you. Part of that is also on you for failing to move fleets eastward preemptively, because it was clear that something was going to happen a while ago. Part of that you can be excused because there were the drone fleets that distracted. But also you should know that big fleets aren't going to be able to fight drones well anyways, and you could have definitely started moving those. I know, you had the drones, but I think the drones, you got told that they were not actually a big threat a couple turns ago, and you still didn't move. And you didn't move even before the drones showed up, which I think was when it probably would have been good to move your fleets out. Like, if you're going to make an alliance, you should move some of your forces out to the perimeter of that alliance. And just be more prepared, I guess. I don't know. It is unfortunate, but this is not purely a game design problem. This is also somewhat a strategy problem. Okie dokie, that is it. There are 8 surviving volcanoes, and of course with resurgences, so very minimal casualties for the attackers. The city has been taken, but it has been damaged. I'll update that on the sheet. Even though these have now healed up to 98 and 100, I'll note them on the sheet as 95 and 98 because that is the low point that I saw them. Which is what I've used in the past as well. If I see a lower health than they end with, I'll usually put that on the sheet. Alrighty. Thank you all for watching.